guys, welcome to Muse of Chaos. Today I'm thrilled to share a very special project with you. I spent the evening filling a page in my sketchbook with 5 stunning monochromatic portraits of my beloved bull terrier, Xena. This video will take you through the entire process from initial sketches to final touches. For those who don't know, let me explain a bit about monochromatic portraits. This technique involves using various shades and tints of a single color to create depth and harmony in the artwork. It is a fantastic approach that allows artists to explore light, shadow and texture in a unified color palette. As you can see, I already made a very light sketch of every portrait with graphite pencil to plan out the page. It's been a while since I used a sketchbook, so I'm a bit rusty. So I wanted these guidelines to help myself out. There are no rules in art, so if you need anything to make it easier for you, don't be afraid to use it. For the first portrait, I choose the color pink. It's a very cute picture of Xena where she's lying down on her dog bed after a play session. She can be very energetic, but when she calms down, she's the sweetest girl. With this first sketch, I was struggling quite a bit. I never drew a dog before, especially not a bull terrier. They have a very distinct look that differs quite a lot from other dog breeds. I, however, love these very unique features. It gives them a lot of character. When I was drawing this paw, I caught myself getting lost in the details, drawing each nail and paw pad, and I realized then I had to take a more loose approach. I had to focus more on the big shapes than the details itself. I was still very much getting into this sketch. At this point, I was losing my confidence a bit because it was not going the way I want to. But instead of giving up, I took a deep breath and just kept going. Because even if it doesn't turn out the way I want, I still had the practice. After I finished the light sketch, I took a darker shade of the same color to enhance the portrait with some finer details. When I finished the eyes, I was a bit more optimistic, but still wasn't feeling the sketch yet. I really had to get into it. Another problem I had with the first sketch is that the darker color didn't blend in the way I wanted it to. I was even getting a bit frustrated, but still I didn't want to give up. To complete this portrait, I took the lighter pink again and go over the full portrait to blend it all together. The second portrait is a very recent picture of Xena. With this sketch, I was gaining a lot more confidence. The lines flowed a lot more and I was feeling a lot better about my line placement and sketching. My hand was feeling a lot looser and I could draw a bit more relaxed. Those who are familiar with bull terriers know that they are quite a unique kind of dog. Like in this pose, you see her sitting, but she's not sitting on her behind. She is sitting kind of sideways on her thigh, and it's the funniest thing when you see a dog sit like this. Now it was time again to take another shade of blue, to emphasize all the shading and the details on the portrait. You can definitely see my progress and how confident I am with my strokes and my lines. And I was definitely feeling a lot more comfortable sketching this portrait. I was able to focus more on the big shapes and was less concerned about the details, which made my sketch a lot better in my opinion. When I continued shading this portrait and the sketch was taking shape, I felt a lot better and I started to really have fun. Now, once again, to blend it all in, I took a lighter color blue. For the third portrait, I chose a picture where she was standing on a tree trunk. She looked so confident, and I thought the color orange was perfect for it. The only thing I had trouble with is that there was only one ear visible in the picture. So I decided to draw another ear myself, which shows that if you are sketching, you don't have to take everything perfectly one-on-one on the paper. You can add or remove details if you think it makes the composition of the page better. With this sketch, I was really getting into it, and the sketch went a lot faster. Even though these are quite quick portraits, you can really see the progress I was making, which shows again that a little practice goes a long way. I wasn't as happy with the shape of the mouth, but here I was really letting go of perfectionism and just let it happen the way it happened. After I was done shading with this one, I decided to go lighter. I went for yellow instead of a darker orange or red, just because I thought the red would be too bold and take away of the rest of the portraits. Yellow seemed the more harmonizing choice in this case. For the fourth portrait, I chose this lovely picture of Xena. It's my favorite of hers so far. She's standing on the same tree trunk, but now she has this really happy, energetic look on her face. Almost like she is smiling. This was again a portrait with an open mouth, which was a bit of a struggle for me, especially since I never drew dogs before. But by this stage, I didn't really care that much. I just wanted it to look nice and it to look a bit like the picture. But I didn't have to be perfect at all. I was having a lot of fun. However, as his portrait was progressing, I noticed that it wasn't that bad as I thought it was going to be, and I was quite pleased with the outcome in the end of it. Slightly changing the proportions of the right eye made a lot of difference. So as you can see, these little details can make a big change in the appearance of your sketch. It doesn't always have to be a big flaw that is the problem. Little things like eyes or the mouth can really change the whole look of your picture. So before you erase your whole sketch, just look for little things that can drastically change your composition. This darker green really made it pop against the orange portrait. Once again, to blend it all together, I took my lighter green again and went over the whole sketch. For the fifth and final one, I chose a picture where Xena was lying down, and I must say, this sketch went really well. I was really in my flow and it just happened very naturally. Every stroke felt just right. Here I made a slight change. In the picture, she has her eye a bit open, but I fully closed it. I just think it looks better. This sketch was by far the smoothest of the 5. And once it was finished, it also turned out to be my favorite. The shading for this portrait just went really natural. By the time I was about to finish the portrait, I noticed I made the tail too long, covering the hind leg, which wasn't the case in the photo. So I did correct it, but it was an easy fix. After that, it was smooth sailing once again, and I finished up the sketch quite quickly after that, feeling very satisfied with the results of this one. Like I did with the orange one, I chose a lighter color to blend it all together, rather than taking an even darker purple, and it was definitely the right choice. Adding one final detail, I put the tree trunk for the orange one in the sketch to really bring it all together. And there you have it, 5 stunning monochromatic portraits of my bull terrier. I hope you enjoyed following along with these sketches as much as I enjoyed sharing them with you. Even though I started out struggling and wasn't that confident, it turned out great in the end. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more art content, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!